Hey there, Shrine Runners! Hello, and welcome to the Fox Shrine. I'm Araxis, your host, and tonight we're going to be playing some Limbus Company. Hey there, Kuro. Hey, Beta. Hey, Ada, welcome. Hope you're all doing alright. I'm fucking cold, alright? I am cold. I've got my frickin' jumper and jacket on inside. I've got a heater sort of running as well, and I am cold. The problem is the room is too big. The room's too big, the heater's not strong enough to sort of reach out to where I'm at, and I am cold. And my sincere condolences to France and Europe for the heat wave they're going through. 40 degrees is shit weather. I speak as someone who regularly goes through 40-degree weather in a country that's more sort of heat climatized, and 40 degrees sucks. So all the best. Try and stay cool. Don't sort of exert yourself too much or anything, and stay safe. Okay, stay hydrated. Find shelter where you can. All right. Anyway, yes, summer does indeed fucking suck. But yeah, we're going to be playing some Limbus Company, and we're going to be playing through a Canto that I have already played before, but I haven't played on stream. And that Canto is this Canto, the Heartbreaking, and it is pretty awesome. So let's get into that, shall we? So, as per usual, do let me know if there are any issues with the stream. I'm stuck on my laptop at the moment, so there's probably going to be some issues. But we're just going to do our best. Let me just quickly
저희 사무소
do this
수준이라면
jump.
해결할 수 있었을. 별거
There we
아닌
go.
일이었을 텐데.
잠든 자들에게는 깊고
And
못한 소리를
I
듣겠소.
want to quickly run over the team that we're going to be using for this. Obviously, I have built up a tremor burn sinking team with some of the new IDs. I still need to get the Gregor one, but I've kind of run out of lunacy. I did build a specific team for Wuthering Heights, however, and as you can see, I have tried to keep them at around the level parity that you would expect for the Canto. I think it caps out at level 45, and they're basically going to tick over to 45 almost immediately with how much I've left them at. Oh shit, I have forgotten to up-tie these IDs. So that one's on me. But you know what? That just means we get to do them on stream, right? So let's go ahead and get a little bit of a preview for what we are going to be expecting in terms of this Canto, shall we? Okay. So let me just see. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess, if we go pure Wuthering Heights. Although we could also bring in a few other characters who are relevant. T-Corp is relevant, and also this came out at around the same time, but I've obviously leveled him up, so we're trying not to rely on him or anything. And I'm also going to switch over to a different preset, which is going to focus. I limit the characters a little bit more, so we'll do that too. Okay. So, first things first, we have Wuthering Heights Butler Faust. She is a sinking character, and a lot of these characters have Echoes of the Mansion as abilities, which is another sinking ability that you put on characters. Potentially puts on sinking count, which is nice. Also changes their panic type, which spreads more echoes of the matter. Let's uptie you. Yeah. Ooh, that's just owned, and we'll do that. Oh, the hospital, are you? Is it for yourself, or are you visiting? All the best, though, regardless. Type 1 diabetes, shit. That's definitely not something that you want to get diagnosed with or anything. So, seriously, all the best with that. Like, obviously it is a serious issue, but it is something that can be managed. And better to sort of know about it than continue going not knowing that you've got it as well. Like, now that you know you've got it, are you able to do something about it, okay? So, seriously, Kuro, all the best, okay? My grandmother actually had diabetes. I don't quite recall which one she had, if it was type 1 or type 2. But she was still able to lead quite a good life despite having diabetes. So, okay. So with this one, we get Reception Arts 4. Yeah, so echoes. No echoes with those, but they do get boosted up there. Alright.
방문객께서는 이쪽으로. 외람되우나 초대받지 않으신 분께서는 즉시 퇴거 절차를 밟아주셔야겠습니다.
Yeah, and obviously listen to your doctors. So yeah, we'll go over these, shall we? I shall now take my leave. Please, enjoy your meal. Elegant music plays over an expensively lit dining hall. The child nods politely at the group of people dressed in noticeably expensive clothes before walking backwards and silently leaving the room, just as the chief butler did. Phew. The child finally allowed herself to sigh after she made sure that the door was fully shut, and that she was far enough distance away from that room. She knew what kind of discussions would be exchanged in that place. The Wolven Hunt. That is what one could call this battle. The battle that butlers from both the Edgar family and Wuthering Heights, the heir of the Edgar family, and his chief butler were currently discussing. What prompted this discussion? It would be the knowledge that the child once taken in by Wuthering Heights was returning home, leading a deadly march of overwhelming, shambling forces, bringing ruin and desolation to his old home. Ah, shit. Yeah, that does suck. Disrupting plans. Like that. Still, as much as it does suck for both yourself and the people to be wed, I'm sure that they would want to make sure that you're as healthy as possible as well. So, yeah, like, definitely focus on that, okay? Which, like, yeah, I know it's small condolences to sort of say that. Obviously, you'd rather not have diabetes. You'd rather be able to continue on to the wedding as normal. But, hopefully you don't have to stay at the hospital too long or anything like that. I'm guessing there must have been, like, some sort of scare, perhaps, that prompted being at the hospital rather than, like, discovering this at like a GP like checkup or anything like that. Yeah, since the weekend. Ouch. would be exactly why these factions of such complicated and conflicting interests decided to come together for once. The two are now in talks. I trust that your service was exceptional. I suppose asking you is unnecessary, as you have not once disappointed me. Thank you for your high commendation. I merely made an appropriate appraisal of your performances. However, the chief butler walked towards one of the doors, her eyes like those of a hawk, and slowly but deliberately wiped the narrow opening of the door frame with the tip of her fingers. It appears that other butlers are in need of some additional education. Her fingers were wet with blood, yet to be clean. It appears that the cleanup for the battle they conducted against the uninvited guests earlier wasn't as thorough as it should have been. Oh. Ooh. Shit, yeah, that sounds rough. Especially if it's a reaction to the medication or anything like that. Obviously, I don't know what's sort of going on or anything. But yeah. Damn, alright. Yeah, I've had that happen to me before as well. It was with a known condition. That was with my gallstones. I was obviously like on the elective list to get surgery for that. That was sort of like coming up in the next few months at the time. But sort of like had a bit of a downturn before that could happen, and went to get a blood test at the GP. Sort of walk in, and like as I'm getting my results, the GP's sort of like, "Well, Araxis, I got a call from the clinic at about 2 a.m. in the morning with your results," and like instantly I was sort of like, "Well, it's never good news if they're giving you a call at 2 a.m." And yeah, sort of told me, "Hey, you need to go to the hospital right now. We need to basically do surgery ASAP." So definitely been in a similar situation. It's not fun. At least you've got your family to help support you, and you got me in chat as well, okay? And yeah, if you're like, we're here for you, okay? All the best, okay? Yeah, definitely glad that they caught that early. You don't, as I said, you don't want to sort of like catch that at a worse time or anything like that. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's we'll continue with Limbus. Okay. Obviously, feel free to continue chatting. Obviously, like if you're stuck at hospital, like you don't exactly have much to do or anything like that. I shall do my best to entertain. Yeah, not as thorough as it should have been. My deepest apologies. You are a butler responsible for the kitchen. There is no need for you to apologize. I do believe that it may become your responsibility to relay my opinion to the butler's tasked with cleaning, however. Understood, ma'am. Very good. Now, head downstairs. They are still training hard for the hunt. Yes? Indeed. Everything is proceeding as you have ordered. Mm-hmm. Not familiar with that book series. I hope you enjoy it. I know I sort of spent most of my time listening to audiobooks. It turns out mobile phones, especially with a reasonably short stay at the hospital, more than capable of entertaining me at least. For I don't know, how long did I end up staying? Like 4 days or something? Something like that, I'm not sure. The child nodded politely before leaving the chief butler. After a long walk, she finds a door leading downstairs. She descends. That's one thing you do not want to forget. Like basically, when they told me to go to the hospital, bring some things, I made sure to have myself a charger for my phone because I knew that that was going to be something that I needed. Rookie mistake. Ah, Lady Faust. The staircase led to a dark, blood-splattered basement. That's Sinclair over there? But it seemed that the child was already expecting this sight. She does not even flinch her brows. Ah, lucky! I did not have a room to myself. And like one of the other patients, unfortunately, was a little bit of a snorer. Thankfully, as I said, didn't sort of last too long. I also sort of got moved to a different room later on. Is the combat training using our previous uninvited guests going well? Yes. I think I've almost got the hang of the strategy Lady Otis told me about. Very well. Please, continue. Oh, and another thing. Yeah. Chief Butler Lady Otis had a comment regarding your cleanup performance. Oh. Please, pay attention to the areas that are not normally observed as well, so that our guests may not be inconvenienced. What sort of interesting things, if those are things you can and feel like sharing? Hey, Josephine, how you going? Yes, ma'am. I will put greater care in my work. Well, then. After the brief warning, she wrapped her fist with her serviette and joined the ranks of other butlers in the dark. The dark, where sounds of leaping, throwing, tearing, and ripping continued to echo from. A new sound joined the fray, continuing to echo through the basement. Yeah, currently we're just going through some of the uptie stories of the Canto before starting it proper. And yeah, final one. So putting the coin power there based on syncing. Oh yeah, we're finally getting our syncing IDs leveled in order for this to do this Canto specifically. This is specifically why I haven't run any syncing teams yet, because I was almost all the sinking characters are Wuthering Heights characters, and I wanted to sort of like keep them at the level for the Canto itself. Oh, migraines, that's rough. Hope you feel better soon. That's a big coin boost on the defense there. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, all right. Tie there as well. And yeah, so we'll do Ishmael Butler as well. Yeah, so she's poise and sinking. All right. Okay. And restraining technique. A bit of sinking there, and slash fragility. Okay. One person threatening to... Ooh, damn. Alright. Yeah, I did hear about Sam Neill, unfortunately. After beating cancer as well, so that's a real sort of blow, unfortunately. Fucking Mitch McConnell survived as well. It's unfair. Alright. So let's level up Ishmael now.
주인님의 집안에 고용된 버틀러가 유능하지 않을 리가 없죠. 병약해지신 틈을 타 부당한 이득을 취하려는 놈들은 제가 청소해드리겠습니다.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and Maid Faust is, well, Butler Faust, technically, is, like, she's only a 2-star, I guess. So, like, a little bit of number disparity, like, even more than other characters. Even if some of the singing stuff's still good, but, Anyway. Be interesting to run Earl King. I've never run Earl King before. I had to shard him. Specifically for this. The Edgar Manor, wreathed in the ambient sunlight, is full of sounds and brooms and butler boots moving about its premises. Butlers of the Edgar family are busy with their last-minute deep cleaning of the manor before the Wolven hunt. Brooms brushing against the floor, dishes clattering against one another, loud, bustling footsteps. The child is quietly and impassively dusting the window frames amidst that clamor. Come on, let's try not to neglect these out-of-the-way corners. The child would normally have quietly taken care of it herself without telling anyone, but now that they're all busily preparing for the hunt, she decided to give them a warning to avoid drawing the ire of her master or the chief butler. It may have sounded a tad nosy, but it was her own way of caring for the other butlers. Even a pinch of dust particles could be dangerous for our master, you know. Sorry, I'll be more careful from now on. The hunt's coming up. Let's keep ourselves in tip-top shape, alright? Of course, she wasn't just worried for her fellow butlers. It was clear from the way she spoke that she cared terribly for her master. Perhaps that was an obvious outcome. The child used to be a fixer drifting through the back streets, and she wandered for a long, long time, unable to find her purpose in life. The Edgar family took her in, gave her a roof over her head, and gave her a definite purpose to live for. Perhaps that is why the child does not tell the chief butler whenever the other child, the master, indulges in alcoholic drinks. Top 3 2-star, but loses out on a decent amount of damage and lower numbers. Yeah. I mean, I suppose the plus side of them not doing 2 stars anymore is you don't get that like power disparity anymore. So every sort of like character sort of like coming out is not built to be deliberately weaker or anything, and they've got sort of like a nice animation instead of static images, so you can put them on your splash screen. So they do cost a little bit more in terms of resources, sadly, but it does mean that they're also more likely to be used, because a lot of people will just automatically dismiss the 2-star characters and immediately use whatever 3-star they've got, whether it is compatible with their team or not, just because it's 3-star. Yeah, pretty much. That is why the child does not even dare open the window when her master is home, for fear of letting chill winds into the manor. her devotion to her master almost appears like a blind obsession. You've got an ego with that name. Do you think Master would have been less ill had he not been hunting for the wolf? I doubt it. Master had already lost his arm and Miss Isabella even before the hunt started. Yeah, but besides, it doesn't matter whether our master gives up his hunt or not, because that wolf won't. He won't stop until he's taken everything that our master has. Oh, speaking of which, didn't that wolf love, huh? Love? What are you talking about? What's it again? It's nothing. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. There was a large hole where that child once stood. The child who was likely the cause of all this misery. I'm glad your migraine's fading, Josephine. It's never fun to have something like that. Even a small headache is a load of mental strain on a person, let alone a full-blown migraine. This child grew puzzled as she suddenly felt the fog of memory in this casual conversation. Yeah, but we shouldn't have to get used to them. Medicine should be advanced enough to be able to go like, you've got this. Here, take this pill, and you're good to go. Permanently cured. That would be lovely. But she ignored this odd sense of deja vu. It would be much more reasonable for her to focus on the hunt rather than to get hung up on such details. Is it already time? The sun hangs over the horizon. The terrible wailings of those pulled from the other side begin to echo from nearby. Great rumbling begins to intensify within the halls of the manor. Past the window were the forces of the dead, wreathed under the orange light of the eventide, swarming up towards the manor. Even as I remain awake, does that endless nightmare seek to claim me. They're nothing but weaklings, an advance party. I see. The wolf caught wind of our hunt, I suppose. The other child, her master, draws his saber and readies himself. But the child shakes her head. Master, Lady Vyoshu, leave them to me. DBS. Me and this fool of a master can take them out in the blink of an eye. Oh. It should be a medication to help you take the other medication, damn it. Are we talking about Sam Neill still? Or did someone else unfortunately die as well? So I did see like someone else happen to have passed away. I don't quite recall who it was. Someone else, yeah. A sad day for Rain. The child waits until the warm light of the eventide. The color of her hair reflects off the floorboards of the manor's hallway. She looks into the eyes of the chief butler and her master. The two of you have a wolf to hunt. Don't let the dead waste your energy. Perhaps the two believed that this child's words had merit. Her master lowers his saber. Chief butler grumbles for a moment before unsheathing her knives and crossing her arms. Only then does the child pull an oddly engraved broom and a sharp knife from the dimensional attaché case issued to the butlers. Hunting cutleries at the ready. Don't get yourself killed like an idiot. A child lives up to her confidence. The well-sharpened knife cuts through the army of the dead like butter. The generations-old broom of the Edgar family butlers keeps her enemies at bay. She routed the forces of the dead with every knife throw and broom swing, handily knocking them down like she was dusting a particularly stubborn corner. The advance force that assailed the manor was already looking rather thin. Intense light of the sunset shines through the windows still. Doesn't seem like housekeeping will cause them to run late. All right. I'm going to take a brief detour from the butlers, and they're going to go over to the dead rabbit. So, up speed faster, extra coin power. You'll appreciate that, especially if you're gaining some haste with your abilities. That should hopefully keep you going a bit. Also some bind on the enemies. Oh, excuse me. Okay. And yeah, up right there. Okay. Alright, pick up. Okay. So, Dead Rabbit's boss. So yeah, don't quite fit in with a sinking team, unfortunately. So I might end up switching you out for someone else. Hey, calculator, how you going? I am winning some. Hopefully you're winning as well. Okay, so we're gonna up-tie you. This will give you more rupture abilities. Okay. And okay, 4 coins. Only 2 coins over there, or 2 plus rather. Offense level down. Rupture is high. Unlikely to be getting that this team, unfortunately. As I said, we might swap out the Dead Rabbit Maso to a proper sinking character. Okay.
슬슬 시간을 채워넣을 때가 됐군. 분수를 모르고 골목에 돌아다니는 갱도 보인다. 시간을 벌 때군.
Starting the journal entry for today. It continues to rain in this alleyway. The rainfall has been continuing for precisely 135 hours. The rain did intermittently subside a few times during that period, but taking into account humidity levels and the particulars of the nephrological conditions, it can be said that heavy rainfall has been continuing for the entire 135-hour period. I have recommended that the family spend as much time indoors as possible, as heavy rainfall limits the kind of activities that may be conducted outdoors. But some of them are starting to become restless with cabin fever. The time to collect protection fees is also long past. We were compelled to act. The job itself went rather smoothly. I must leave it in writing this unideal fact that raindrops soaked our coats which weighed us down. Nothing was out of the ordinary. We successfully collected our protection fees and received sustenance from certain establishments in return for giving them a discount on the said fee. Some fled from us in fear, and some fearless gangsters dared to start a fight with us. We thrashed them all the same. Professor Richard Scollier. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I have heard that name before. Yeah, shame to hear about his passing as well, unfortunately. It is a beneficial thing that we are consistently getting those that seek to challenge us, to test their sturdiness against our bats. We can fill our time reserves with theirs, and grow our renown among the gangs of District 20, so that we may rise to the top of the pyramid. It is a very nice art there, Calculator, with honestly, like the T-Core art in general is rather interesting because they're dealing with like a muted color palette, which obviously we're seeing here. And when you've got those restrictions on yourself, it requires you to draw in a certain way and draws your attention to other things than just the colors. So definitely worth mentioning here, I think. It happened once we returned to our base after one such productive day. Of course, I had an inkling that something like this was going to happen. I felt that odd, puzzling gaze on me as I went about my day. It was not so different from that curious gaze of a distant stray cat. Not a murderous gaze, but it was certainly aggressive. Puzzling may be the only word that can describe it. That gaze followed us all the way to the base. With our base discovered, I wondered for a moment if I should reveal our syndicate to this interloper before disposing of him. But my worries were soon resolved. He appeared before us, stumbling like a wet pound, and asked to be accepted as a part of our syndicate. I could tell that he was not a spy of a different gang, or some foolish swindler who had more bravado than sense. I saw a pair of ceaselessly wandering eyes, dripping with venom and desperation. He must be someone with a history. Though thoroughly dirty, the clothes on his back were made from obviously expensive fabric. So, I decided to test him. I had to know the extent of his mettle. I have no need for someone who is all bark and no bite, after all. You must be able to decapitate a person if there was a need to do so, instead of getting beat in the knees. So, I lied to him that he first had to pass a test to join us. No such foolish ritual existed for the dead rabbit, of course. Luckily, we had a long-standing rivalry with a certain other gang. It wouldn't be so unexpected if one of us killed one of their lower-ranking members. I ordered our new recruit hopeful to kill one of them. I was surprised by two things. First was his complete lack of hesitation as he turned around to leave our base. Second was that when he returned shortly after, blood all over his face and fists, he brought back the corpse stuffed into a sack. Promise, promise, after all. He now rests at a corner of our base, easy his weary body. I thought I had spent quite a significant time as a boss of this gang. This kind of surprise has not come often. Perhaps this won't last. Perhaps I have accepted not a hound, but a wolf into our fold. Tonight, I sleep expecting great things from this Ethan. Get in the sack! Alright. Yep, and we will uptie here as well. Yeah, slight boost there. Slight boost with enough rupture. Yep, okay. Yeah, not the best ID. But we'll take him along for a little bit. Anyway, now we're on to the 3-star IDs. First up here is Wuthering Heights Chief Butler Otis. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I like Otis. So, we shall enjoy leveling her up. And yeah, got some more Echoes of the Mana here. Flash power up against low SP. This is with Resonance, but we've got a whole bunch of sort of like payoff stuff going on anyway, so extra damage against Echoes of the Mana. Putting a Flash. Heal. Alright. Already at max. Yeah, no. Oh, right back here. And your support one. Okay. Yep. So let's uptie it now. With a lot of sinking, coin power up. And sinking count on Clash Win. Although you're going to eat up that sinking like with your hits anyway. So alright. So level up here. And over here, yep, again, you're gonna eat up your count with all these coins here. Affinity damage equal to half sinking potency on target. Alright. Okay, that flat rate up over there. Alright.
마님이 내리신 선물이군요. 감사히 받아들이겠습니다.
Fucking looks classy as hell, by the way. With her monocle. I have prepared the tea as you have requested. There is a chill in the manner. Please, imbibe the tea before it cools. The child placed the cup on the table with such graceful dexterity that it barely made any noise. There wasn't even the infinitesimally small clatter of the teacup against the saucer. Her lightly folded hands and slightly bent back did not even flinch from its fixed position. None of this may mean much to someone who's so used to receiving such top-notch service, but anyone who's not would realize something after a quick glance at the child's service. That this child was a highly trained butler. Now, I must leave your side and plan for the reception of guests scheduled to arrive today. Please, pardon my absence. The child bowed courteously at the quiet man, who was fully absorbed in reading the paper in his hands. He walked backward towards the door and exited the corridor. Her movement was smooth and continuous, not allowing even the smallest squeak as she closed the door on her way out. Chief Butler Lady Faust. There was another child waiting for her in the corridor. Faust. I trust that the preparations for the guest's reception is going smoothly. She nodded as though she was already expecting to see the other child waiting for her on the other side of the door, and began walking down the corridor. It seemed that the two had been working together for a while. The other child caught up with the child in a most natural, gliding gait. Everything that Chief Butler Lady Otis has ordered has been carried out. Every item entrusted to the Deviat has also been delivered without delay. They are all ready to be used for tonight's banquet. Hey Drago, how you going? I'm glad to hear that Butler Otis is still really good, and yet Ujat Otis is excellent. Which makes sense. The Ujat were pretty top tier in Library of Ruina, to the point that even though they were like common or something like that, like you could essentially like field a team of them like at the very latest of game. Yes, they were Star of the City through general reception, if I recall correctly, but like not all Star of the City characters are built the same, and the Udjat were solid in that as they are in this. Ooh, nice dinner. Not familiar with Caesarea, but glad you enjoyed yourself. As competent as always. But I will not spare you any compliments, Faust. You must understand why, yes? From a certain perspective, the child's words and expression appeared rather harsh, but the other child's nondescript expression did not change. Perhaps all this was merely routine for her. Yes, such perfection is expected from the butlers of Wuthering Heights, bound to this land. Yes, besides. Alright. Japanese family restaurant chain. Good to know that there's a decent chain out there. Generally, I like to sort of go to... I don't necessarily look down on chains or anything like that. But like I like to try and sort of like find more unique places where possible. So also gives herself up to 6 offense power up a turn. Does more damage to stuff. Yeah, below 0 SP. Yeah. And considering you're using a sinking team if you're using her, they're going to have below 0 SP. Actually, also minus 25, unless at up tier 5 it goes to 0, which would be nice. Yet the child continued, adjusting her monocle. Aglio olio, escargot with focaccia, smoked salmon salad, and the drinks bar. Not what I would expect from a Japanese family restaurant, I admit. But yeah, glad you enjoy yourself. 0 at up high 4. Yep, gotcha. Alright. As one of the butlers in service of our mistress, it would be shameful to serve anything of the utmost excellence. That is fully understood. Hey, Skylar, how you going? And thank you very much for the subscription, the continued subscription, Skylar. 25 months, well done. But seriously, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Only enemies that will be above 0 are the ones in later cantos. Yeah. Very good. I will make sure that the mistress hears of your devotion. This mistress that the child was talking about had been dead for a long, long time, but she acted as though her voice still echoed in her ears. Her attitude was too bizarre to be mere devotion to the dead, too earnest to be an attempt to retain the memory of the departed. It was as though she was holding regular conversations with the long-dead mistress. Every butler under her command knew that there was something strange about this whole affair. No one dared to question her, because that was the kind of respect that a chief butler commanded. Alright. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with specifically with Japanese family restaurants in that style. Like, yes, I do get like casual, affordable, like chain diner, but I suppose I would have expected Japanese food solely, I guess, rather than like full-on escargot. The other child mused the same as she followed from behind. I hear that their chief butler has contacted us. You must be referring to Chief Butler Lady Ryoshu, who left to serve the Edgar family. It has been a while since she left this manor. No need to stick with the honorifics. Chief Butler Ryoshu tells us that the hunt for the wolf is nigh. So, stray hound returns as a wolf. returning to sully Wuthering Heights in her honorable mistress' name once again. Good. This saves me the trouble of venturing out of this place in search of this beast. Oh, that sucks, Josephine. Hopefully you're able to find a similar site that agrees with you. Child's eyes narrowed. Do you have a problem with that? It is known to us that the wolf was once a very close acquaintance of the mastermind of this hunt, Yoshi of the Edgar family. Faust is concerned that such emotions may cloud her strategies. Not even Faust has experienced this particular circumstance before. It's simple. The other child was speaking rather anxiously, but the child dismissed her concerns with a light scoff. I have no love for someone who abandoned this land in favor of her master. But a chief butler is a chief butler still. She is not the kind of person to be hung up on old kinships in matters as important as this, no. She will remain fully loyal to the hunt, because it is something that she must see to its end. Perhaps it shall inspire an even greater dedication in her. Understood. As their conversation drew to a natural close, the stairs ended and opened up to the manor's grand entrance. Now this piece is a really good CG. I fucking love this one. With Otis, her arms like spread out dramatically, the monocle glinting in the light. You got Faust in the background over here, as well as the other butlers are showing their dedication and service. It's great. I love it. It was filled with rows upon rows of butlers waiting for her orders. Interesting. What is all this for? Uninvited guests have arrived prior to the banquet. The butlers stand ready to meet the interlopers. Very well. Then let us use this opportunity as a warm-up before the hunt. The child stood tall before the rows of butlers. There was a group of outsiders standing outside the manor, their garbs indicating rather clearly that they did not belong here. Not that it was any of the child's concern. I apologize for the delayed reception, dear strangers. Though it may be rather discourteous of me to advise you this, I must inform you that this manor is currently not receiving any uninvited guests. The butlers began preparing for combat the moment the child finished her sentence. The child wrapped the serviette she had been carrying over her fist and muttered, "Now, dear uninvited guests, vacate the premises, if you will." Alright, so continue our process of uppying things. Yep, we're syncing up, yep, okay. Yep, that was the mana for 3 turns. Insolent fool. Okay, yeah, and here we go. As Josephine was saying, that's at less than 0 SP instead of minus 25, so definite boost. Okay, and 30% damage with Echoes to the Mana. Okay, yeah, 2 times per turn. So yeah, okay. So up high here. Okay. Now, next up, Edgar family heir. Let's go with you, shall we? So now thinking character, you are not a butler. But you are in the same style as them. Okay, so coin power +2, huh? Alright. Only 1 coin though. Okay. Flash power, very sinking. Haste. Damage up and fragile. Every 5 SP difference between combat start and the next one. Okay. Other residents with endless nightmares. Okay. Now. Nightmare Punch. So, 4 coins. Lovely. 3 power. Clash power does go up for sinking. Extra sinking if target is staggered. And add sinking to enemies if you defeat someone. Alright. Absorb sinking. Huh. Alright. Same slash up. Ooh, revise coin power up. Okay, that'll do that.
칼날을 한번 갈아줄 때도 됐지.
That's very Bloodborne in style. Anyway, we're going to pause here for the ad break, and we will resume momentarily. Okay? Be right back. All right. And we're back. Let's resume, shall we? Still 50-50 on him. If him or Lamp are better though. Not actually sure if I have Lamp. I might have Lamp, or I might have the other one. I haven't used them, however. Anyway. There are things in this world one could never grow accustomed to. The bizarre tang of the dregs. Broken piece of tea leaves from the last fill of teacup in the pot. The disappointing flavor of lukewarm Scotch whiskey, diluted from melted ice. Yeah. And the taste of nightmares that continue to haunt me, despite my hatred of them. In that awful dream, I am visited by the one I abhor the most. The beast that took my little sister and destroyed my family. The cunning, cruel wolf took so much from me that I can't even recall all that he's deprived me of. Yeah, very Bloodborne in style. To be fair, Bloodborne is sort of inspired from that era, I guess. So makes sense. The one took my arm, forced me to wear this shameful, hateful arm. The wretch that took my arm but not my life, leaving me to live out this abominable life. Not very sure how good the Wuthering Heights characters were on release, if I'm saying... yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dead Rabbits is unfortunately like the outlier here, as a rupture character rather than sinking, due to not being like part of the like either a butler or like one of the other people of the gothic horror and all, but everyone else seems pretty cool. He never arrives alone. In this nightmare, I am beset by foes on all sides. No escape in sight. Is this the true magnitude of my fear? Body born weak and ailing. A body that forces me to struggle tooth and nail just to survive those that seek to harm me. Cannot conquer the fear of the source. I aim with the sharpened tip of my saber, stab them all with gloom-tempered swordplay I have trained my entire life in. But that nightmare always ends with my flailing feet, its conclusion distant and unreachable. He's the least bad fell bullet ammo Musso has. As the dream draws to a close, I come to a certain understanding. Once again, I am the robbed one, the one deprived of even a chance to struggle. Then, I awaken from the nightmare. I struggle desperately to escape the yoke of my weak constitution, and simply continue to live in my parents' glory. Far too many vultures circling me for a chance to take my place, my wealth. I could not be weak before them. I learned how to wield a blade, trained my body. I grew far too familiar with the pain that ravaged my lungs. Yet my damnably weak body cared not for my determination. Pressed upon me such cruelty. But that is how I have protected what is mine. What I could get my hands on. Good home, quality clothes, delectable food. My inheritance. Once, I even found myself absorbed in that presumptuous belief that I may overcome the curse I was born with. But there was something that completely slipped my mind. The vagabond I sought that tempestuous manner. The resentful eyes, that ill-tempered vagrant, burning with hatred behind his wet, ragged hair. He appeared before me as I was still drunk from delusion. They've decided it's not 7-Eleven, apparently. Ah, lovely. Just remember that the entire internet's infrastructure is being maintained by probably one hobbyist who could pull things out at a time, and big megacorps like Microsoft and Google trying to degrade everything over time with their insistence on AI and massive learning models and shit like that. Ah, dystopia. How I love thee. Just like then, I could see my fear reflected in his eyes. Mine. He is here to take everything I have. Cut off my arm in the blink of an eye. this memory. Merely recalling that memory makes my stomach ache. I feel the bitter taste of stomach acid rising up my throat. But I won't be defeated like this. He wants to play hide and seek, does he? Very well. He shall have it. Sever this nightmare from me. This intangible terror. The wolf and the hunt must begin. Slaying the source of horror with my own hands is the only way to free myself from it. Okay, I'm going to ask chat here a question. Obviously, some of you might be familiar with this canto already, but some of you are not. To those of you who are not familiar with this, do we want to do Heathcliff's uptie event? Because that might reveal a bit more about this canto that might be considered spoilers for people. So I just want to ask people that question now, before we actually do it, to give them the choice essentially of whether we go forward with it or not. I'm gonna have to grab some more thread anyway, so maybe we save him for next Limbus stream actually. Anyway, let's we do actually have another Wuthering Heights thing that he can use. It's not as relevant, but it's still valid, I guess. Okay, sinking over there. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. But Wild Hunt he put over here. He kind of ran out of thread, leveling everyone up. Obviously, I can spend like more of these capsules to grab myself some more thread, and we probably will. But yeah, I think we'll hold off on that for now, and we'll use Ufi Association. Yeah, he's not a sinking character. He's a tremor character instead, but relevant for at least the start of things. So we'll go with that, okay? And then we'll switch to Wild Hunt, okay? Also give us a chance to actually start things. We've oh, there we go. There's some thread. Yoink. Okay. So, now, before we start the heartbreaking, we still have to do risk levels and classifications. So we'll go and do that, and then we will start on the heartbreaking, okay?
자네도 그랬지만 어느 둥지를 가든 차가 꽉꽉 막히네.
I forgot that this one was voiced. We've been traveling at a snail's pace through the extreme congestion of the nest for several days now. Roger, clearly affected by this boredom, sighed and muttered. We've been through similar long periods of inactivity before, but boredom isn't something one could easily get used to. I suppose it became a part of my job to listen to the sinners complain about the slow pace of our travel. How much longer until the T-Corp immigration checkpoint? My only option is to give them a reminder of how far we are from our destination.
하루 정도 다음 장소에서 대기하는 것과 중간중간의 정차 장소 등을 고려하면 3일 정도 남았다고 볼 수 있습니다.
고작 거기서 거기를 가는 것 같은데 항상 이렇단 말이지.
Gregor's right. Didn't seem like the city was that big. Maybe there's something to these inevitable, overly long travel times. Something I'm yet to understand. Yeah, it's a W Corp conspiracy to force people to use the trains.
저희는 작은 차량도 아니고 대형 버스라서 뒷골목을 따라 이동하면 확실히 더 오래 걸리는 것 같네요.
그냥 도보 행군이 더 빨랐을 것 같군.
하지만 숙식이 해결되지 않소.
모르는가? 장기 행군 중에는 텐트를 설치하고 야영을 하는 것이.
Gotta be careful of the sweepers, Otis.
아이, 모두가 군인 출신인 건 아니라고 오티스 양반.
그리고 뒷골목에서 잘못 새벽을 지새우다간 그 무섭다는 청소.
Even a partial mention, their name, of their name, drains all color from Sinclair's face. I remember what the sinners once taught me about them. That before the break of dawn, there are these things called sweepers that sweep up every trash in the back streets. It's kind of terrifying how broad their definition of trash can be. They call that hour the night in the back streets or something like that.
청소부들이 바글대는 뒷골목의 밤에서도 무사할 수 있는 건 이 버스가 도시에서 몇 안 되는 주거용 차량으로 인정되어 있기 때문입니다.
Yeah, well, we'll never run into the sweepers. We just have to be responsible, always be in accommodation, and we don't have to worry about them. The sweepers, total non-issue.
버스 외 숙박 행위를 시도했다가는 취침은커녕 1시간 동안 청소부들과 새벽에 사투를 벌이게 되겠죠.
하긴 청소부들은 뒷골목의 주거지까지 건드리진 않으니까.
느리고 확실한 차량 이동인가? 빠르고 위험한 도보 행군인가? 딜레마로군.
아니, 후자의 경우는 고려할 대상이 아니지 않소.
The bus is once again consumed by commotion. And into that commotion barged in the creak of an opening door and a familiar sigh.
마음이 급한 건 알겠지만 어떻게 돌아가든 간에 일정에 전부 맞출 수 있게 가고 있으니 쓸데없이 중얼거리지 마라. 벌만 들만 보면 아주 나까지 들이받을 기세들이군.
새로운 서류. 상부에서 새로운 지침이 내려왔나 보죠?
Are they brochures? Virgilius was holding what appeared to be a bundle of freshly printed paper. This wasn't the first time something like this happened. Sometimes, after communicating in his room with the higher-ups of the company, he'd bring out a few sheets of paper to bring us up to speed.
그래, 새로운 소식이다.
또 중간에 헛짓거리를 하러 가야 한다는 소리는 아니겠지? 뒤틀림 뒤처리제도 2번은 사양하고 싶다고. 지금 원래 우리 목표는
애처럼 안달 좀 내지 말도록. 버스가 가는 경로에 변동은 없다.
Virgilius furrowed his brows, walking up to the front of the bus and leaned against one of the first row chairs. He began leisurely shuffling through the documents.
단순한 공지사항이다. 너희들이 기록해온 환상체, 뒤틀림, 죄종에 대한 기록. 그걸 분류하는 방법에 대한 개편이 있을 예정이라는군.
Hey, Biscuit. How are you going? Are you making sure that your eyes are still buttered?
어? 그럼 그걸 우리 보고 전부 수정하라고?
아니요. 일단 작성된 도감들은 모두 전산화되어 상부와 공유되는 상태입니다.
They're Louis-ified. Watching too much Hololive, Biscuit, are we?
물론 관찰 기록 자체를 수정해야 하는 상황이면 수정 명령이 있을 수는 있겠지만 분류법, 즉 일련 번호와 위험 등급에 대한 것은 자동 갱신될 테니 그저 알아두라는 뜻입니다.
Okay, that kind of addiction. Fair enough.
한 명이라도 거드니 마음이 편하군. 그 말대로다.
이전에 발견한 새로운 형태의 죄종 때문인 것으로 사료되는구려.
그것만 있는 것은 아니지.
Julius closed his eyes wearily and lightly folded the paper in his hands. He called out to the two sinners.
이상, 이스마엘.
He was pointing at Ishmael and Yisan.
네?
불렀는가?
둘이 아주 모범생이신 것 같으니 이 서류를 보고 알아서 설명해 주도록. 내가 너희 모두에게 이 내용을 설명하기에는 역부족한 기분이 들어서 말이야.
Yeah, that'll be the throat cancer. With that, Vigilius pretty much shoved the paper in Ishmael's hands before taking a seat in the front row of the bus.
그냥 떠넘기는 거 아닌가요?
Yet have fun. Ishmael didn't seem too happy about this sudden turn of events. Still, she opened the documents and began reading.
신경을 써주는 건지 쌀쌀 맞은 건지. 아휴, 그래서 거기 뭐라고 써 있어, 이스?
잠시만요. 그러니까
환상체에 대한 새로운 사실이라도 적혀 있나요?
발신처. LCD에서 보내온 문서이고.
우와! LCD 부서라면 관리자 나리가 무전을 했다는 부서 아니오?
Ezra, was it? I still vividly remember her chaotic, bubbly voice coming through the radio.
구 엘사 시절부터 노잼.
Bus begins to fill with familiar hectic buzz once again.
어디 나도 이스마엘 양?
Isan chimed in to help with Ishmael's explanation of documents, but
이런 식이니 매번 저만 가이드북을.
I could see veins starting to pop in Ishmael's fingers. At this rate, she's going to drop the documents in favor of her mates. Oh, wait, Ishmael, I got this. Calm down. I hurried over to Ishmael and practically hung on to the documents in her hands. Nearly tore the bundle of documents in half, but she quickly gave up and loosened her grip. Ryoshu? Otis? Please keep Don Quixote and Heathcliff quiet while I take care of this.
좋다. 재밌겠군.
Without killing them or beating them up, please.
노잼.
Yoshu slowly lowered Don Quixote's lance she'd picked up. Alright then. If you have any questions while Ishmael reads from the document, raise your hands to be recognized. Isan, Faust, you guys don't need to raise your hands to speak, so please chime in if there are any details you can elaborate on.
좋습니다.
알겠어.
Roger, if anyone tries to speak out of turn, please smack them lightly on the head. If you do good, I'll make sure to order you extra desserts during our team dinner.
휴, 일 시킬 줄 아네, 단테.
Best way to motivate her.
이건 놀라운 성장이군요, 관리자님.
자, 우선 한 대.
아니, 이건
Bonk. A few minutes later. After a quick commotion, I found the situation settled enough to return the documents to Ishmael's hands. Then I'll leave it to you.
그러니까 우리 LCB는 구 L사인 로보토미 코퍼레이션에서 감금 관리 중이던 환상체를 지부를 통해서 상대해 왔었죠. 환상체를 상대하면서 황금가지로 본래의 힘이 억제되었다 해도 설정된 위험 등급과 전투력에 편차가 있어 왔고요. 여기서 림버스 컴퍼니의 직원들과 상부에서도 기시감을 느껴왔고 LCD를 통해 이 부분을 조사했다고 하네요. 지금까지 분류된 위험 등급은 5개인데
5개? 4개 아니었냐? 아!
Yep. Roger punched Heathcliff in the crown of his head, and he promptly slumped to the ground, out cold. Maybe it was the suddenness of the attack that did it? You didn't kill him, did you?
에이, 히스인데 이런 걸로 죽긴 하겠어?
Sinclair quietly raised his hand.
네, 말씀하세요.
Ishmael nodded at Sinclair.
히스클리프 씨 말처럼 지금까지 위험 등급은 자인, 테스, 해, 바브 이렇게 4개 아니었나요?
Yeah, we still haven't run into Aleph.
저희가 봐온 것은 그렇죠. 하지만 여기 기록을 보면 제일 높은 위험 등급인 알레프가 있다고 하네요. 하지만 아까 말씀드렸듯이 이 등급이 지금 저희가 겪는 전투와는 괴리가 있는지라 앞으로는 림버스 컴퍼니의 방식으로 재조정을 할 계획이라는 것 같아요.
After all, Lobotomy Corporation technically labeled those based on how much energy they generate. Except for fucking Army of Darkness. That one's fucking lying.
네, 메르소 씨.
That one is not Zayn.
재편성이라는 것은 기존 분류가 재분류된다는 것인가? 아니면 새로운 등급이 추가된다는 뜻인가?
그것까지는 안 적혀 있네요. 하지만 여길 보니까 로보토미 코퍼레이션에서는 환상체의 등급을 엔케팔린의 생산량에 비례해서 정했다고 되어 있네요.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said.
관리가 까다롭고 복잡할수록 생성되는 엔케팔린의 양이 많았다는 건 그만큼 위험도가 높았다고 볼 수 있으니까 대체적으로 저희가 싸운 경험하고 비슷했나 본데요. 그래도 조금씩 다른 부분이 있었으니까 그 부분을 저희 경험에만 맞추려는 것 같아요. 그러니까 새로운 등급이 추가될 수도 있겠네요.
우리는 관리가 아닌 전투만을 수행하니 구 L사의 등급과는 다를 수도 있겠구려.
Roger, wait. Yi-sang can speak without raising his hand. I said this at the start.
아, 맞다. 미안.
Getting too into it, are ya? I managed to stop Roger just before her fist connected with Yi-sang's crown. It's almost as if she was moving based on pure instinct.
네, 그래서 전투력을 기반으로 위험 등급을 재편성한다는 것 같네요. 그래서 도감에 적힌 위험 등급이 바뀔 수 있다. 세부적으로 정해지면 다시 알려준다고 하네요. 그리고 뒤틀림에 대한 건데
Oh, fair enough, Josephine. I thought that it was similar to Plague Doctor and was able to arrive like early on in the same way. So classified Zayn, some strange reason. Don Quixote raised her hand. But Ishmael continued to explain without coming to a stop. She probably just ignored her.
뒤틀림은 지금 환상체의 코드 형식을 돌려 쓰고 있었는데 두 개체가 명백히 다른 점이 있는 게 확실해져서 다른 코드 형식을 갖게 될 것 같네요. 그 다른 점이라는 건
Honglu raised his hand and Ishmael nodded. Don Quixote appeared a bit crestfallen.
환상체는 제압하면 알 같은 곳으로 돌아가는데 뒤틀림은 그렇지 않다는 것이죠?
맞습니다. 뒤틀림은 제거에 따른 완전한 제압이 가능하지만 환상체는 아직 이론상 완전한 사살이 불가능하죠.
Or Don Quixote indeed. I agree completely, Ada.
네, 그렇다고 하네요. 뭐 다들 싸워봐서 이해는 잘 되겠네요. 저도 그렇고요. 이게 마지막이네요. 죄종에 관한 건데 이것도 최근에 확인된 새로운 죄종을 포함해서 기존의 환상체랑 분리해서 코드를 부여하려나 봐요. 분류 사유. 환상체와 뒤틀림은 고유성을 갖고 있으나 죄종은 그렇지 않다는 점에 착안하여. 이게 무슨 소리지?
Faust walked up next to Ishmael and began to explain.
고유성이란 동시에 같은 존재가 한 곳에 있지 않다는 뜻입니다. 죄종은 똑같은 생김새와 성질을 한 여러 개체가 몰려나왔다는 걸 떠올려 보면 이해가 쉬우시겠죠. 반대로 뒤틀림과 환상체는 그런 적이 없었죠. 설명이 되었을까요?
그러니까 죄종은 똑같은 놈들이라 써잡아서 불러도 되고 환상체랑 뒤틀림은 하나하나 특별한 놈이니 따로 불러야 한다는 거지? 뭘 어렵게...
There we go. Heathcliff seemed to have woken up from his coma, but...
디저트 맛있겠네?
He's having too much fun at this. His moment of lucidity barely lasted a moment.
내용은 여기까지네요. 뭔가 상쾌한 기분이 드는걸요?
Don Quixote has not lowered her hand since Ishmael ignored her the first time, not even for a brief moment.
알겠어요. 말씀하세요.
그 서류! 작성한 LCD 팀의 직원 이름! 혹시 나와 있는가?
Dost thou know? Ishmael seemed a bit taken aback that Don Quixote actually managed to ask a rather sensible question, even though it was asked with that very same enthusiasm she has when talking about fixes, that is.
네, 잠깐만요. 발신인 LCD 현장 추리팀장 모제스. 뭐 LCD 부서도 언젠가 만날 일이 있을 테니 기억해두는 편이 좋겠죠. 괜히 무시해서 미안해요, 돈키호테 씨.
Day 11. Okay. Okay, so around sort of Vav level, I guess. Day 16 for Army. All right. Okay. Day 11 might be... I think that might be Vav. Yeah, at the very least. Though Don Quixote was finally given the answer she so passionately craved, she did not appear happy or excited about it. Instead, she seemed to be absorbed in deep thought. Something wrong, Don Quixote?
분명 어디서 들어본 이름인데 기억이 안 나서 말일세.
자, 이제 진짜 끝이에요.
아쉽네. 디저트를 더 정립할 수 있을 줄 알았는데.
예상보다 전달 시간이 더 소모되었군요. 단테, 이제...
Oh, right. It's about time. Alright then. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the Sinners. This could have dragged on for much longer, but the Sinners were thankfully pretty cooperative, so we managed to finish our day early. And that they're both roughly the same spawn rate as Alex. Gotcha. Okay. They're definitely still capable of very much surprising new players to the game. I followed the Sinners to the back door of the bus, my heart a little lighter than it was at the start of the day. Huh. Feel like I'm forgetting something. It took me about 30 minutes to realize that we left Heathcliff out cold on the bus floor. Ouch. I remember when Mel was playing a little bit of Lobotomy Corporation, she ended up getting Plague Doctor, and she was not... she was way too bold in regards to the countdown plot. She was like, ooh, I really want to see what happens, rather than, ooh, shit, I'm scared about what happens. And kind of activated the plot and activated White Knight. Anyway, so it is time for Wuthering Heights. Let's go.
돌아와, 히스. 보랏빛 꽃만이 유일한 아름다움으로 남아있는 그 저택으로. 폭풍으로 뚫린 균열 사이로 모든 온기가 빠져나갔던 그 저택으로. 너에게 삶을 내어준 대신 모멸감과 무너짐을 안겨주었던 그 저택으로. 난로불 가운데가 아닌 차가운 모퉁이 어기만이 네 자리였던 그 저택으로. 황야에서 돌아와. 이제 집으로 올 시간이야.
So, this is what T-Corp's nest looks like. We had surprisingly little trouble making it past the nest's borders. I guess my concerns were unfounded.
뭐, 다행히도 이번 둥지 입국 심사는 별일 없이 넘어왔네요.
아이, 이 정도야 뭐. 에이, 칭찬은 굳이 안 해도 괜찮다고 하지 않았어.
Do we need to compliment you for doing the bare minimum, Don Quixote? For doing what is expected of you?
아무도 하진 않았는데.
다 컸어, 이제.
Little Chiquita. Everyone seems awfully relaxed for having just entered a different nest. Guess everyone's gotten used to this by now. Humdrum, routine. I guess that'd be the words to describe the general sentiment among the sinners. Except for one, that is. We're headed to this place called Wuthering Heights next, right? You know what I should do at some point? I should do a Wuthering Heights reading stream or something. Like, that's something that's out of copyright. So I could totally get away with, like, reading Wuthering Heights on stream. I've never actually read the book. Something to consider at some point in the future, maybe. I could tell from Heathcliff's glum expression that his mind was weighed down by all kinds of complicated concerns.
그렇지.
Though his eyes were staring at the moving scenery past the windows, his mind was affixed on something that his eyes couldn't see. Something that lay beyond the building walls.
워더링 하이츠라. 무지하게 강한 바람이 불었던 집이었나 보죠.
그 저택은 바람이 지랄맞게 불었어. 아늑한 구석은 하나도 찾을 수 없는 곳이었지.
Heathcliff's voice carried an unusually dark tone. The other sinners on the bus noticed this and began chatting him up.
고향에 당도한다니 마음이 참 복잡하겠소.
고향이라 뭐 태어난 곳이 아니라 자라온 곳이긴 한데 하긴 그것도 고향이라면 고향이겠지. 근데 보통 고향하면 떠올리는 감정은 아니야.
허면
머릿속에선 수천 번도 넘게 상상했어. 내가 그 빌어먹을 집안에 돌아가서 모든 걸 남김없이 부수고
모든 걸 부숴서 그 다음엔 뭘 하려고 했는데요? 저를 보고도 깨달은 게 없는 거예요?
있어. 일단 내가 획가닥해서 되져버리기 직전까지 가게 되더라도 너희 중 하나가 어떻게든 끄집어내줄 거라는 거.
Damn straight you will, Heathcliff. 100%. You've got your back.
뭐 두들겨 패서라도 꺼내달라는 건가요?
두들겨 패서라도 그럴 필요가 있으면.
어디까지 허용이 되지? 신체 절단과 신경 조직 손상 중에
머리 같은 데를 세게 쥐어박는 정도는 괜찮지 않을까요?
Sinclair looking forward to his chance at revenge.
아니 이 새끼들 나한테 쌓인 걸 풀라는 의미가 아니라고. 지금 진지하게.
그래도 지금의 히스클리프 씨라면 잘 해내실 것 같다는 생각이 들어요.
That's nice of you to say, Honglu.
뭔 소리야? 지금이라니.
지금의 히스클리프 씨는 가난하고 남은 게 아무것도 없잖아요.
That's less nice.
뭐? 가난? 이제는 아예 대놓고 시비 걸기로 작정했냐? 내가?
아니 오해가 있으신 것 같아요.
Honglu is far from the most talkative sinner, but when he does speak, he usually has something insightful to say. Though, since he never says it in a way that's immediately obvious, his words are very prone to misunderstandings.
저희는 모두 가난해요. 그러니 예전과는 많은 게 달라졌을 거예요. 어쩌면 가진 게 아무것도 없을 때가 되어서야 몰랐던 걸 깨달을 수도 있으니까요.
가난하여서 이렇게 구릿구릿한 색깔을 계속 가지고 다녀야 하는 거요?
Don Quixote looked mournfully at everything around her, then at herself. She sounded like she was about to cry. Everything had been drained of colour since the moment we entered Keythorpe through the back streets. Feels like even more of our colours have been taken away since then.
그 얘기 언제 하나 했어? 대체 언제까지 이런 색깔로 다녀야 하는 거야? 라는 생각을 한 게 불과 10시간 전인데.
Nope, no colours in Teathorpe. Colours are forbidden. Well, unless you pay the fee.
가도 원상 복귀가 되지 않잖아. 이대로 평생 칙칙하게만 살아야 하는 거야? 이러면 식욕도 떨어져. 살아갈 의지가 없어지게 된다고.
Yeah, it's T-Corp Roger is very unhappy with her life because of that.
고기를 먹어도 고기가 상한 걸로밖에 안 보인다고.
갑자기 너무 건너뛴 것 같지 않아?
그리고 저 사람들은 옷의 색깔이 보이고 있잖아.
With an annoyed look, Roger gestured towards the people outside the bus.
개개인 분들께 해드린 답변을 합치면 23번째 답변이긴 합니다만 색깔을 돌려받으려면 그에 준하는 돈을 지불해야 합니다.
You've been told this repeatedly. Ah, fuck capitalism.
저 정도로 색깔을 돌려받은 거면 코트에 바지에 저 새낀 별로 잘 살지도 못하면서 허세만 있는 놈이야. 진짜 부자들은 안경테나 장신구까지 색깔을 되찾거든.
Oh, this guy's just fucking wearing Gucci or something. One of those people who deck themselves out in Louis Vuitton to look like they're rich, but they just come off looking like wankers.
히스클리프 씨도 이곳에 살고 있을 동안은 계속 색을 보지 못한 상태였나요?
아니, 저택은 어느 정도 예외였어. 그래도 여전히 색이 구린 곳이긴 했지만.
동의 구려 피의 색 정도는 되찾았으면 싶군.
그런데 저 자식 말이야. 저렇게 어설프게 색깔을 가진 채로 쏘다니면 괜히 뒤통수 얻어맞기 딱일 텐데.
Yep. There he goes. Heathcliff's predictions came true soon enough. Several thieves surrounded the bloke who's only trying to come off as though he's loaded and bashed him on the back of the head.
저런 극악무도 파렴치한 자들을 보았나? 혼자 다니는 무고한 시민을 단체로 핍박하고 있지 않나?
갱단이라고 부르는 분들인가요?
물이 흐려졌군. 저런 걸 갱단이라고 부를 수도 없고 시간을 못 채운 하류 인생들인 거지. 내가 떠나올 때만 해도 저런 버러지 같은 것들은 저렇게 버젓이 돌아다니지도 않았어.
There are gangs that aren't scummy?
당연하지. 내가 있었던 갱단은 저런 식으로 만만한 놈한테 우르르 몰려가지 않았다고.
타론, 쌩쌩 달리고 싶어. 길이 막혀서 부릉부릉 못해.
Let Taron vroom vroom.
뭐 여기서 시간을 지체하는 것도 의미가 없지.
Julius finally spoke up after quietly listening in on our discussion for the last few minutes.
돈키호테가 시끄럽게 굴기 전에 내려서 처리하고 오도록.
온! 정의 집행이군! 고맙네!
Justice!
길잡이 씨도 익숙해졌나 봐, 이제.
Justice! Alright, so there's no time. Let's go take on these hoodlums, shall we? On level 25, geez, alright. Alright, well... Let's see,
불청객을 맞이할 시간인가 보군요.
부르신다면 청소 시간이네요.
사냥감을 찾은 건가?
시간을 벌러갈 시간이군.
I get enough to get you to level 2 at least? Yes, okay. I'll bring you along at least, even if you're, I guess that way you're not level 60. Okay.
이 소리는
Well, yeah, you don't have the side members with this now. Okay. Fairly sort of balanced setup here. A little bit short on yellow. A little bit short on pride. But we've got something of everything, right? Okay. So we'll go in with this team. It's all at the right level. Yeah, I'm probably going to swap you out for the butler though. Like after we sort of use you a little bit, I guess.
시간을 벌러갈 시간이군.
Okay.
다음 5창까지는 돌아오겠습니다.
Yeah, Ryoshu's a little bit higher level.
대부분 분야에서 저는 최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만
Alright, so urgent
응원은 조금 더
T-Corp
준비 시간이
gangster,
필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지
yeah.
않았던 기능이라
Paralyzed and
일단
tremor.
먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
No passives. Yeah, these guys are just goons. Goons! Hired goons.
검나를 내게 바쳐주지.
정리하겠습니다. 불청객 찌그러져
Oh,
있다.
that is stylish as hell.
이외 특별히 첨언한 것도
굉장해요.
적들이 치명상을 입은 상태네. 자, 다들 팔 걷어붙이고 저들이 편하게 잠들 수 있도록 침대볼을 깔아주자고.
일당과 마이 손끝이라도 대려는 자가 있다.
단정하지 않고 적에게 치명상을
But the
입혔군요.
martial arts for the win.
관리자님은 당신이
Drunken
생각하는 것보다
time.
대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고
확실히
제가 늘 말씀드렸죠.
쉽게 쉽게 갈 수 있을 거야.
적들이 저녁 만찬 냄새를 맡아버린 손님들처럼 비틀거리고 있네. 한 접시 근사하게 먹여줄까?
그쪽으로.
Go. There's the broom and the knife that got mentioned in the up high story.
전투의 명예 따위.
불청객 찌그러져 있다.
제압 개체 하나를 처리했습니다. 남은
These guys are pathetic. Just
처리해.
just win rate for them. Why not?
사람을 영입해야 하는 건데.
사무실 직원의 견을
제거하시죠.
찔렀을 것.
불청객 찌그러져 있다.
Fighting with a fucking towel or
직선의
handkerchief
공격처럼
or whatever.
개체에게 치명적인 일격을 가해봅시다.
정리하겠습니다. 기대받지 않은
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지.
모조리 치워버리.
그릇 두드려 패.
이번에도 잘해줬어. 유익한 책이 또 하나 늘었네. 도시에는 내가 모르는 것들이 많아. 이렇게 하나씩
보고 계시는군요, 마님. 칭찬 감사합니다. 불청객들을 남김없이 모조리 처리했습니다.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, they've leveled up to 45. So, hey, Shrev, how you going? And all right, yeah, this is just another sort of repeat. So I think we can sort of get past that without doing the battle. We'll just do the story. You have a selfish request? What might that be?
야, 너 모자 멋진데? 어디서 샀냐?
잘못했습니다. 다 가져가세요. 제 시계에서 원하시는 만큼 시간을 빼가셔도 됩니다.
Oh, I can actually. I will. I'll talk about Magic Bullet after we do this this story, and so like bring it up and so like show you how that sort of goes. Okay? Because Magic Bullet Otis is actually pretty awesome. So yeah, absolutely. I'll talk about Magic Bullet.
클리프군.
Yep, no worries. Heathcliff was looming over the man and growling threateningly. He certainly fit the look of a villain from this particular angle. Hello, Jasper. So I'm just going to go and feed the cat, okay? Give me a moment. Something to eat. Let me give you something to eat. Okay, sorry about that. Just feeding the kitty. Alright.
야, 방금 건 그냥 칭찬한 거잖아. 이놈이 유독 오버해서 반응하는 거라고.
저는 이것 빼고는 완전 아무것도 없어요. 납치 같은 걸 해봤자 돈 나올 건덕지가 없다고요. 납치는 안 됩니다. 집에 기다리는 가족들이 있어요.
The man we inadvertently saved from the hands of thieves was shuddering and screaming incoherently, almost to an unnatural degree. And still not out of the dark alleyways where other thieves might be waiting to get the jump on us.
아이씨, 무슨 시끄러운 소리가? 어? 이것들 뭐야? 아, 이렇게 시간이 굴러 들어온다고? 10분, 아니 5분이라도 좋으니까 얼른!
도대체가 이놈이고 저놈이고 왜 다들 시간 타령인 거야?
아니면 모조리 해치운 뒤에 저 시계를 뺏어가는 방법밖에 없겠지.
Huh? Clock? Wait, me? Oh no, they're after me. Alright, so we'll go over Magic Bullet now for you, Shrav, alright? So let's bring that up. We'll do the post-battle in a moment. Okay, so Magic Bullet Otis, she's essentially going to be your linchpin in any sort of burning team. Why is that? Because of Dark Flame here. Dark Flame is important because it essentially serves as a multiplier for whatever burn your team inflicts. Burn has a cap of 99, but when you've got Dark Flame, you're able to sort of get past that essentially, up to a total of 99 times 7 at the best possible rate, essentially. But how do we get that? So we get that by getting the actual magic bullets onto Otis here. You can get them in a number of ways. Skill level 2 over here gives you some magic bullets up to 4. Skill level 3 gets you further than that. So this one becomes more dangerous, but also more powerful the more magic bullets you've got, because it starts like draining SP, but also hitting more people. If you end up at less than 10 SP, you do have a chance of hitting your teammates, which is unfortunate. I have done this on several occasions. You do not want to be hitting your team because she can hit pretty damn hard. However, and obviously the defense also gives magic bullets. But what you really want here is the ego for magic bullet Otis. This essentially makes the build work really well. Why is that? Because aside from like being able to gain magic bullets on command, essentially through using the ego itself, you're also able to improve. Yep, that's good. You want this ego, okay? You want the ego and the ID together. When the passive activates, you inflict more burn. You also inflict more Dark Flame. More Dark Flame is important because it can be a little bit tricky just doing it with the skills alone. So once you start getting... Yeah, so this only works with the Magic Bullet Otis ID. So this will inflict extra burn, as well as once there's enough burn on the target, it will inflict Dark Flame instead. So that is super important for essentially multiplying all the burn that you're applying. That sucks, Swoggy. I didn't get Dawn Office Gregor, unfortunately. Now, when you use Magic Bullet Ego, which style of attack it uses depends on how many bullets you've currently got on Otis. When you've only got the one, which is at 0 essentially, first one activates when you've got 2, 2 activates when you've got 5, 5 activates, and it essentially alters the way that the ego attack works based on the description here. You want to avoid using it at 7 if you want to keep Otis alive. You might want to do it. You might want to use it because it is quite powerful, but it will kill Otis. You can also use Otis's S3 at 7 instead to reset back down to 0, but that does come with the risk of shooting your teammates as well. So keep that in mind. And yeah, that essentially covers Magic Bullet Otis for you. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Essentially, you want to get as much Magic Bullet on Otis as possible so she can put more Dark Flame on, and you also want to get the passive for the Magic Bullet Ego activated as soon as possible. So again, you can put more Dark Flame on people. In a regular rotation, do you use a lot of defense skill to get her to gain bullet? I personally don't use a lot of defense skill. It can be worthwhile if you're sort of stuck with like double S1, for instance, because her S1 does not give any magic bullet, whereas you have to rely on her S2 and S3. So possibly at the start, you might want to use her defense, but otherwise you can sort of get it through using the ego or using her S2 and S3. And because this one can drastically increase your magic bullet rate whenever you use it, as you can see. So anyway, pair her with a whole bunch of burn characters, and honestly, no, I don't think she's too complex. You essentially throw her onto any burn team, activate her ego once, and then she is just putting down dark flames on people left, right, and center. Just keep an eye on her magic bullet level whenever you're using her S3 or her ego ability, so that you don't use it at an inopportune moment. That's basically the only part where you can sort of like fall flat with her, is if you sort of like get overconfident and don't monitor that level. Okay? She is great. I love her. Anyway, let's grab that 9A. Hold on, let's get a little bit here, shall we?
자, 이제 워더링 하이츠로 복귀한다. 밀려있는 저택일이 한가득이니.
Why don't... Oh well. Yes, back to... there we are. Alright. Yep, so we'll do our post-battle one now. Yep, so the Dawn Trio did story till Canto 5. Got a Gregor and Faust this banner. Shard. Alright. Yeah, that's all pretty solid stuff there. I don't have Gregor yet, unfortunately. And yet, Dawn Office is fairly simple. They are well-purchased characters. They're solid. Definitely throw in Magic Bullet Otis with them. Anyway, we're at our ad break, so we're going to take a brief pause here, and we will return in a couple of minutes, okay? Be right back. All right, and we're back. Let's resume Limbus Company, shall we?
닥쳐라. 쓸데없이 네가 비명 지르는 바람에 일이 자꾸 꼬이잖아. 당장 안 닥치면 사람 먹는 버스로 끌고 간 다음에 저 고철 덩어리한테 먹이는 수가 있다. 어?
Technically the bus isn't a cannibal because it's eating humans, and the bus is not human.
그러면 저를 납치하러 온 사람들이 아닌가요?
그래. 몇 번이나 말했던 것 같지만.
그럴 리가 없지 않소. 우리 앤 우연히 지나가는 정의로운 림보.
Justice! He is trying so hard not to say it.
아니 나그네들이었어. 여기 있는 히스클리프 군이 말투가 조금 괴팍하여 그렇지.
그렇군요. 나그네.
그런데 왜 돈이 아니라 시간을 달라고 하는 거죠?
시간도 사고 팔 수 있는 걸까? T사 가이드북 여전히 아직도?
Ishmael. Just accept that they're never gonna read the pamphlet. Ishmael's eyes start to glaze over. Once again, she may have been the only sinner who bothered to read up on our destination.
T사, 즉 타임 트랙사에서는
At least Yi-sang and Heathcliff would know. They've lived here.
시계를 신분증의 역할로 쓰고 있어. 이들이 지니고 있는 시계를 통하여 화폐 대신에 시간을 거래하기도 하오. 대부분의 근로자는 노동에 대한 보상을 시간으로 지급받지.
Hey Nelly, how you going? I'll be looking forward to meeting you too. I have only the most respect for the butlers of Wuthering Heights.
이상 씨를 봐서 이번엔 넘어가죠.
I've actually got the Nelly announcer active for this as well, so we'll be sure to be hearing you as well. So, is this going to be a problem? Otis is the only one of us who carries a watch.
아, 그 시간이 멈춰 있는 손목시계 말씀이죠? 패션용으로 착용하고 있는.
패션용인 적은 없었다. 무례한 말을.
I'm reminded of Full Metal Alchemist with her broken watch.
그리고 아까 말한 납치라는 건 무슨 뜻이었어?
T사 길거리엔 사람들이 마구잡이로 납치당한다는 흉흉한 소문이 돌고 있어서요. 이젠 아무도 다니지 않는 거리인데 이렇게 때로 다니시니 소문의 납치 조직인가 해서.
구체적으로 말해보도록. 육하원칙을 활용하면 더 좋고.
실종자들 때문이에요. 최근 들어 이곳에서 사람들이 이유 없이 행방불명된다고 해요. 이젠 다들 안개가 자욱해지기만 해도 무서워서 집에만 박혀 있죠.
Persona 4. Gotcha.
마침 여기 굴러다니고 있는 디타임즈 신문지 일면에도 쓰여 있네요. 오리무중인 납치 사건, 충격, 경악, 공포. 시체조차 한 군도 발견되지 않아. 더 읽어드릴까요?
Yeah. Shrev, if you're still in chat, definitely listen to Josephine. She does more sort of theory crafting in regards to team builds than I do. So I definitely listen. All right. She's got good advice. Maso, Roger, and Don Quixote began enthusiastically reading the sensationalized titles and the attached articles of the newspaper he showed us.
이 근처에 상을 받은 맛집이.
If you just want to sort of like add in a few burn characters, like there are a few Lou like 2-star characters that you can throw in, and they're actually not too bad. I actually was quite fond of. I suppose you wouldn't be using Lou Gregor because you've got Dawn Gregor. That would be a step down for you. But like Ryoshu, Maso, and Hong Lu have some Lu characters there that you'd be able to like toss in with relative ease. Horde Maso, if you can get him, is very solid. She's not a burn character, but the Ryoshu that came out at the same time as Horde Maso is really good. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. It was using Alryune's gear. Incredible. Like, absolutely phenomenal ID. Love her. She is awesome. Faint Aroma and Solitude. Yes, that's the one. Incredible ID. Highly recommend. If you get the chance to shard her, do it.
시간에서 해결사들이 이런 인터뷰를.
You guys even reading the same article? We're talking about kidnapping here right now.
확실히 평소보다 지나다니는 인간들이 훨씬 줄어들었어. 여기는 원래 공장으로 일하러 가는 노동자나 조잡한 장비를 팔로 나온 발명가들이 붐비던 거리야. 이렇게 거리가 텅텅 비었던 적은 없었는데.
This empty street of Heaththorpe was thick with fog, the bustling crowd from Heathcliff's memories nowhere to be seen. I personally like Hornet Musso more than Capo Musso, but they are both very good characters. They're sort of like side grades for each other. I think more people tend to say that Capo Musso is better than Hornet, but I really like Hornet. Maybe the lack of color made the fog appear even thicker.
일전 검계와의 소동에서 들었던 괴담과 흡사한 이야기인 것 같군.
행방불명이라. 역시 사람을 납치해서 팔아넘기는 악질적인 조직이 있는 걸까요?
그런 놈들이 대놓고 활보한다는 이야기는 못 들었는데. 적어도 내가 있었을 때.
인신매매 따위가 목적인 조직이 있다면 흔적 하나둘은 남을 수밖에 없다.
Or as more count with Heathcliff's sack there, Yoshu can trigger Tremor Scorch. Yeah, I've never been huge on specifically activating the Tremor stuff. I know, it's important to activate things and all, but usually I just like killing them dead. If you kill the enemy, you don't have to worry about complex mechanics.
거리를 이렇게 만들 정도로 거대한 움직임이라면 더더욱 시체 한 돌 정도는 찾기 마련이다.
시체도 남지 않는다는 건 단지 죽거나 죽이는 정도의 내용이 아닌
깊이 파고들수록 위험한 일일 수 있다는 건가요?
If it's not just another violent tragedy, then maybe there's more to this than we think. Maybe there's some powerful organization pulling the strings.
아니, 시체만으로는 그렇게 보기 힘들지 않나?
네?
Yeah, I'm certainly not dismissing activating Tremor effects like Tremor Scorch, because they absolutely do improve your DPS. But I'm not really playing the end game stuff, the what's these? I don't know, that thing that requires 2 teams. I haven't really done that.
뒷골목에 밤이 있잖아. 그 청소부들이 지나가면 시체를 포함한 쓰레기들은 전부 청소되어 있으니까.
그렇군. 시체까지 말끔하게 치워버릴 수도 있겠네.
As I said though, listen to Josephine more than me. Josephine knows what she's talking about.
당연히 쓰레기만 청소하는 게 아니라는 건 무서운 일이지만.
Yeah. The idea of sweepers really freaked Sinclair out for a while.
그건 밤마다 로저 씨가 이상한 흉내를 내면서 저한테만.
No time done. Next up, the letter.
안개 낀 거리에서 일어나는 미스터리 실종 사건이라 무슨 괴담 같네요. 무서운 건 아니고요.
I need to look into I don't have Blade Ryoshu, so I can't comment the most on her, admittedly. I need to get around to sharding her at some point. Usually, like, I just shard characters like if I really want them immediately, or if it's coming up on the end of the season, and then I'm like, well, better go and grab them before they go away for a couple of seasons.
억지로 웃지 않아도 돼, 싱클레어.
불길하네. 첫 판부터 주눅 드는 기세로 가면 좋지 않은데.
Everyone seems to be on edge, thanks to the unsettling story we heard earlier. I know what to do. Hey, Heathcliff, that invitation. Can you read it out loud for us again? It'll be a good idea to remind ourselves of our current mission. Besides, I could use a refresher myself.
그까지 초대장 읽어서 뭐 하라고?
The neatly folded invitation Heathcliff produced from his pockets completely betrayed his attempt at appearing aloof. It was folded with such tender care that it almost resembled a neat paper craft. He cleared his throat. Sometime later.
부디 참석하시어 이 자리를 빛내주시면 감사하겠습니다.
S3 also triggers burn and reduces count. And on the turn to use a string connection, does that twice. Oh, alright. Yeah, I can see how that is especially important when you're outside the mirror dungeons. Because like one of the things with burn is that it goes slowly, and sometimes you can like build up enough count that you're never going to sort of like be able to burn off all that count before you kill the enemy normally. So having abilities that can just proc that burn immediately is quite good.
경의를 담아, 넬리.
그리고
아이씨. 꼭 와야 해, 히스. 기다리고 있을게. 캐시가.
It's fully Heathcliff time. This wasn't exactly what I had in mind when I asked him to read that letter.
여기가 무슨 동네 술집이에요?
아, 이런 분위기 아니었어?
Yeah, Magic Bullet Otis was a way around that essentially by providing a different status effect that multiplied your burn damage, but also having burn proc immediately is another way to do so. There are some ego gifts that do this in the Mirror Dungeon, but obviously you don't get them everywhere else.
내가 이럴 줄 알았지. 화낼 기분도 안 나네. 애초에 기다린다고 했을 뿐이지 만나고 싶다고 한 것도 아니고.
아니 그래도 말이야, 이 문구를 보면은
어디?
Some sinners gather in a circle like they're doing a literary analysis of the invitation letter. Maybe I was worrying too much.
꼭 연애 편지 처음 받아보는 학생들 같네요.
뭐야, 싱클레어는 저런 거에 관심 없었어?
저는 열심히 공부만 했어요. 책과 칠판만 보면서 성실히 살았다고요.
What about Demi and Sinclair?
싱클레어 군 또다시 얼굴이 붉어지고 있어.
체질이라고 지난번에 말했잖아요.
그럼 단테는? 아니다.
Amnesia. Hey, what's with that oddly sorry look on your face?
안타까울 필요는 없다. 세상엔 많은 취향이 존재하고 있으니.
Thank you, Musso.
그런데 이상하지 않소?
히스클리프 씨가 연애 편지를 받는 게요?
아, 이상 씨, 그런 말은 좀 너무하네요.
아니, 그런 무례한 말을 한 것이 아니라 나는
Yeah. I can't. It ended up being fine, but I did have some ego left in the pool, so I ended up pulling an ego before pulling Solemn Lament. I know that previously, however, during the Arknights event, I made sure to shard every single ego so that I could guarantee getting the Arknights stuff.
농담이에요, 농담. 저도 이상 씨랑 같은 걸 느꼈으니까요. 티사 어딘가에 있을 로보토미 지부가 아니라 다 같이 워더링 하이츠라는 저택으로 향한다는 건 그곳으로 도달해야 황금 가지를 얻을 수 있다는 소리일 테니까.
Yeah, fair enough. I also kind of burnt through more lunacy than I thought I would. I don't recall on what specifically, but I did. And that meant that I wasn't able to get to the 200 to grab whatever I ended up missing, which in this case is Gregor.
정확하게 짚어주었구려, 이스마엘 양.
찬물 끼얹는 역할을 하는 것도 슬슬 지겨워져서 입을 닫고 있었는데 때마침 고마운 지적을 하는군. 우리가 워더링 하이츠로 향하는 이유가 설마 저 편지 한 장 때문이라고 생각한다면 큰 실망을 느꼈을 거다.
그래서 이 문맥을 보면 결국 하려는 말이
아니 그보다는 이 어투를 봐야지.
뭐 일단 넘어가죠.
Oh, Gregor.
LCCB로부터 황금가지의 관측 보고가 있었습니다. 위치는 워더링 하이츠 저택 어딘가. 하지만 특유의 보안 시스템으로 인해 LCCB 팀이 잠입하는 것은 위험 부담이 크므로 황금가지의 정확한 위치는 파악이 되지 못했습니다.
특유의 보안 시스템? 그런 게 있었나?
그렇다면 더더욱 네, 이상하다고밖에 말할 수 없겠네요.
동의하오. 비록 황금가지의 값어치와 그 위상에 대해 정확히 알고 있는 것은 아니지만 평범한 저택 안에 그런 것이 놓여 있을 리가 만무할 것 같소.
황금가지가 처음부터 그곳에 위치해 있었던 것은 아니었다 정도만 말씀드리죠.
Yeah, I got Faust as well, but no Gregor, sadly.
티사 로보토미 지부 어딘가에 있었던 황금가지가 모종의 이유로 저택으로 옮겨졌다는 것이구려.
캐서린이라는 인물이 이번 작전의 핵심이겠군요. 황금 가지를 자기 저택 안에 소유하고 있는 자라니. 그리고 황금 가지가 아니더라도 히스클리프 씨가 자신을 보러 저택에 와줄 거라고 믿어 의심치 않는 아주 자신만만한 사람일 거고요.
That smile on Ishmael's face as she says that. None of this conversation seemed even registered to Heathcliff, however.
혹시 주위에 이발소나 양품점이 보이면 말해줘.
무슨 명소마다 멈춰서는 관광버스로 생각하고 있는 건 아니겠지.
Yeah. At the very least, like that is something that that can be done. You can like shard the Walpurgis stuff next time, and like they come. New role purchase events come around frequently enough that it's are not too much of a problem.
그냥 나를 내려주고 먼저 가도 되잖아. 뒤따라갈 수 있어.
제가 두 눈 커다랗게 뜨고 계속 보고 있는데 말이죠, 히스클리프 씨.
Yeah, I'm mostly going with role purchase stuff myself. I never used Lunacy for Enkephalon, however. I know that you can use it because it is worth more, essentially, via farming the Mirror Dungeon. But I ain't got time for that. One of the few games where it is actually worthwhile using Lunacy for the energy.
아까의 그 소문 때문인지는 몰라도 이 시간에 길거리에 열려있는 가게가 보이지 않아요. 안개가 자욱해서 더 그런가 싶기도 하네요. 역시 저랑 로자 씨한테 맡겨보시는 게 제일...
아이씨, 야 잠깐!
They got you. Honglu and Roger, they got you. All right. So, Colors. That's a great song, by the way, by Flo. The bus emerged from the back streets into a rather quiet-looking village. The fog was still thick, and everything was still in that faded hue. Even the occasional sightings of pedestrians had ceased. The very idea of color variation seemed like an alien concept here. All I see are orange-hued lights coming through the windows of misty grey buildings. It was as though everyone decided to stay indoors for the day. That's just London. That's just London. I can't even tell where we are or how close we are from our destination anymore. Have you been here by any chance, Yi-san? It was the only other sinner who had spent a while in T-Court, so I decided to ask if he recognized anything. But it was evident that the scenery was unfamiliar to him.
나는 최대한 사람들의 눈을 끌지 않으며 연구와 생업에 몰두하고자 하였지. 하여 T사를 그리 자유로이 오가진 못했소.
Imagine doing any research at a place like this. It can't have been easy.
익숙해지면 괜찮소. 오히려 이곳에서 나고 자란 이들에겐 색이 있다는 것이 신기한 것이니. 그리고 나는 잠시나마 기댈 수 있는 자들이 있었네. 이는 낯선 곳에 적응하는데 꽤 많은 도움이 되지.
Yi-san looks away to a place far beyond from here. Memories of his past, most likely.
T사의 특이점이 어떤 것인지에 대해선 아는 게 있나요?
그것에 대해선 특이점이 의뢰 그렇듯 나도 무어라 정확히 추론할 수는 없는 작동 원리라 함이 맞겠소. 다만
Yi-san paused and carefully began to speak.
시간과 관련이 되어 있다는 것만은 알고 있었소. 정확히 어떠한 시간을 어떻게 다루는지는 모르겠지만.
Oh man, Ishmael's hair is quite spectacular. That is true, Drago.
이 또한 부질없는 추측이며 답은 파우스트 양만이 알겠소만.
T사가 거주자들로부터 끊임없이 색을 빼앗아가는 이유 중 하나죠.
그게 색이랑 무슨 상관인데?
시간을 필연적으로 제어해야 하는 곳이라면 빛과 연관이 있는 영역일 것이며, 빛은 또한 색과도 밀접한 관련이 있으니 종국엔 색과 얽히게 되는 것입니다. 제가 알고 있는 시간에 대해서까진 추론이 가능했습니다만 파우스트가 가진 T사의 특이점과 관련된 지식에 접근하기까지는 저에게 아직은 시간이 걸린다는 말도 덧붙여야겠군요.
Faust, known among us for her maybe and perhaps, rarely ever gave us answers this detailed. And now's the time to ask her all of my questions.
파우스트 양, 시간이라면
네, T사에 관한 이야기는 여기까지 하는 편이 안전하겠군요.
Aww.
또 말해줄 것처럼 하다가 입을 닫아버렸네.
Well, guess I should be glad that she's decided to tell us this much. I doubt she'll tell us more no matter how much we try.
그런데 좀 씁쓸하네요. 특이점으로 인해서 평생 색을 모른 채로 살아가는 사람들도 있단 거잖아요.
뭐 다 그런 거지. 우리도 어쩌면 지금 다른 사람이 볼 때 뭣도 모르고 사는 불쌍한 사람일 수도 있으니까. 뭐가 되었든 고기 맛을 한번 본 적이 있다는 게 무서운 거야. 평생 모르고 살면 좋을 텐데. 기어코 고기 맛을 보면 알기 전으로 돌아가기는 불가능하니까.
햇빛의 색깔까지 보이지 않는 건 아쉽네요.
하늘의 색이 그리워질 때는 많았어. 특히 얕게 비가 올 때는.
그래, 그런 것들도 각자 알던 하늘의 색이 있었으니까 아쉽고 그리워지게 되는 거지. 처음부터 이곳의 하늘만 보고 살다 죽는다면 그건 불행도 아닐 거야. 그것까지 불행하다고 말한다면 오히려 오만한 게 되는 거지.
그렇게 생각할 수도 있겠네요.
The atmosphere in the bus suddenly became incredibly frosty.
아, 그거 해보자. 가장 좋아하는 색깔이 뭔지에 따라서 각자 성격을 알 수 있다던데.
Roger, who was the one to chill the bus in the first place, was also the first to break the ice.
이상이 하늘색을 좋아하는 거라면 어디 보자. 고요하고 조용한 당신, 생각에 빠져 잠기는 걸 좋아하는군요.
오, 어떻게 하는 것이오? 그거 참 기묘한 재주로군.
나도 해줘. 나는 말이지 붉은색이 좋소. 아니 노란색. 아니 붉은색? 아니.
What is your favorite color? Blue. No.
자, 차례를 기다려. 그 다음에는 파우스트.
저는
잠깐. 무슨 말 할지 다 알아. 파우스트는 대체로 그런 걸 믿지 않는답니다. 라고 하겠지? 그런 사람은 대체로 흰색을 좋아하더라고. 그렇지? 자기 머리색이랑도 똑같네.
그저 말을 아끼겠습니다.
나? 제일 좋아하는 색깔? 참, 뭘 그딴 걸 물어봐, 남사스럽게. 나는
Pauses. A great manor begins to emerge into our view from a distance. I could immediately tell that this was the Wuthering Heights manor that Heathcliff had mentioned.
검은색. 모든 물감을 다 섞어버리면 나오는 색 아닌가? 그거. 그래서 제일 볼만한 색깔이지. 덧칠만 계속 해버리면 되는 거니까.
I do like the music that sort of plays here at that quiet sort of piano. I can clearly hear that Heathcliff is muttering through gritted teeth. I have a feeling that black wasn't always his favorite color. So I think we can do at least one more before we wrap up for the night. So we'll go to the makeover, shall we? Yeah, colors of the makeover. There we go. Two things changed the moment the Wuthering Heights Manor appeared over the horizon.
거울 있는 사람 없냐? 야, 뭐 아무거나 내놔봐.
왜 이러시는가, 스클리프군. 이 거울은...
One was Heathcliff, who was suddenly overcome with intense anxiety. And this is a true sort of like gothic image right there, with the mansion on the hill, the rain, the lightning, tall, like ominous fence around. Really well done. And the other was the weather that was dark and tempestuous all of a sudden. What a terrifying noise.
원래 이렇게 날씨가 궂은 곳이었나요?
바람은 항상 거세게 몰아치긴 했어. 거의 폭풍 수준이었지. 하지만 이런 천둥이랑 번개는... 뭐, 워더링 하이츠의 날씨는 어느 쪽이든 구릿구릿했지만
멀리서만 봐도 저택이 정말 크네요.
침침한 눈의 카론, 침침하게 도착. 번개가 번쩍번쩍 눈아파.
This manor looked as though it came straight out of a dark, gothic tale full of mysteries. I was half expecting to hear a haunting cry echoing from its windows. So, are we just waiting for Vigilius to go off the bus again?
안 그런 적이 없지 않았나?
그래도 지금까지는 지부거나 회사였잖아요. 이번에는 그냥 저택일 뿐인데.
자, 내리지. 나와 카루는
이번에도 밖에서 기다리고 있겠다고?
A red fraud, not beating the allegations. None of the sinners were hiding their dissatisfaction with Vigilius. Some of them were even standing with their arms crossed.
다들 표정을 보아하니 단체로 할 말이라도 있는 듯한 모양새군.
본인은 아닐세. 감히. 아무튼 아무 생각도 하지 않았네.
Well, maybe not every sinner. They've gone through a lot of things, survived various trials and tribulations. Tribulations that could have been easily handled had Vigilius been there with us. So,
베르길리우스.
looks like Ishmael decided to step up as our representative. Ah yes, union leader Ishmael.
처음에 길잡이라고 우리에게 소개하지 않았나요? 그런데 길잡이는커녕 매번 작전마다 우리를 출발선에 내려두고 카론 씨랑 무엇을 하러 다니는 건데요? 쓸데없이 짜증 부리는 게 아니라고요. 이 점은 확실히 하죠. 저는 당신을 신뢰하고 싶으니까 물어보는 거예요. 같은 부서의 동료라면 적어도 업무 간 행선지 정도는 공유하자고요.
Vigilius held his silence for a moment. His brows were not as furrowed as they usually are, which was the only indication to me that he wasn't as offended to hear this as I thought he'd be.
너희가 특정 계약을 통해 이곳에 입사를 한 것처럼 나 역시도 어떤 조건이 적혀있는 계약서를 통해 이곳에 입사했지.
어이? 탁생나리께서도 계약서를 썼다는 말인 겐가?
당연하지 않나. 내가 아무 손익 계산 없이 이 버스에서 철부지들을 통솔하고 있겠나? 자세한 계약의 내용까지 너희에게 말해줄 생각도 없고 언급해서도 안 되겠지만, 이스마엘, 네가 말한 신뢰라는 단어는 제법 마음에 들었다. 그러니 간단하게만 언급해두지. 나는 황금가지를 직접 회수해서도 직접적인 도움을 제공해서도 안 된다. 오로지 여기 있는 관리자 그리고 너희 수감자들에게 맡겨야만 하지.
왜 그런 계약을?
언제나 왜냐고 묻는 것은 의미가 없다.
He's got his reasons.
계약이란 건 당사자가 아닌 자들이 완전하게 이해할 수 없는 형태로 이루어지니. 다만 목적지에 도착해서 너희들을 버스에서 내리라고 말을 할 때 그래도 마음을 어느 정도 놓고 보낼 수는 있게 되었다고는 말할 수 있겠군. 모든 것을 얻어내겠다는 욕심으로 무리하게 계약을 지키려다 관리자가 돌이킬 수 없는 지경으로 가게 되어 다 잃지는 않을까 하는 고민은 덜었지.
Did he just admit that trusting us more than he used to?
단테, 그런 말은 굳이 한 번 더 물어보지 않는 편이 좋아. 특히 누군가 속마음을 어렵게 겨우 표현했을 때는. 그리고
잠깐만. 이대로 내릴 수는 없어. 안 되겠어. 다시 돌아가자. 유턴하면 되잖아.
내 피에는 유턴 없어.
Charon only knows forwards.
이런 꼴로 어떻게 다시 저택에 돌아가라는 거야?
Oh yeah, right. Every single one of our elaborate plans to dress him up in fancy clothes fell through. Hey, you don't look that bad.
이런 꼬라지로 가면 또다시 그 새끼들이.
그 새끼들이 누군데요?
있어. 옛날부터 나만 보면 하나라도 흠잡을 구석 없는지 누나를 굴려대는.
The bloody pox and knobs.
눈깔 다 내버려.
Good advice.
오, 재치 있는 발상이군.
원.
Looks like Heathcliff is the only one who's taking this seriously. Here they come.
뭔데? 니들은 왜 그렇게 음흉하게 웃어?
그럴 줄 알고 우리가 준비를 미리 해왔죠. 아무리 생각해도 우리 히스가 혼자서 멀끔하게 꾸미긴 힘들 것 같아서.
꽤 전에 로자님과 함께 둥지로 돌아오기 전 뒷골목에서 잠깐 쇼핑을 하다 왔답니다.
둥지 안에는 뒷골목보다 대단한 게 있을지도 모르니 기다려봤는데 뭐 살만한 곳이 없으니까 아쉬운 대로 사둔 걸 써야지.
뭐 설마 전에 둘이 어디 갔다 온다 했을 때 아니 근데 그때 과자만 한 바구니 사왔길래.
과자들은 눈속임이었어, 히스. 물론 그중 몇 개는 내 일용할 양식으로 잘 써먹었지만.
They were track cookies.
비록 제가 집에서 썼던 브랜드들까지 찾지는 못했지만 이만 해도 어느 정도의 멋부림은 낼 수 있을 거예요.
베르, 훈훈한 분위기 이어가게 이번만 눈 좀 감아줘. 응? 유니폼 말이야. 회사 유니폼을 입고 오랜만에 애인을 제외하고 싶은 사람이 어디 있겠어. 그치?
그래도 저 길잡이가 용케도 허락을 해주게.
그러지.
뭐?
You have my permission.
또 멋대로 작당해서 뒷문을 들락거리는 건 피하고 싶으니.
Open back door.
정말이야? 길잡이!
Heathcliff trembled like he was about to give Virgilius a big hug.
자, 히스클리프 씨, 이제 눈을 감고 무릉도원이라 생각하면서 편안하게 몸과 마음을 맡기세요.
잠깐, 머리 함부로 그렇게.
Now, this is important. The power of conditioner.
솜씨가 보통이 아닌데.
히스클리프 씨는 지금 단장 중이랍니다.
Sometime later. He polished up quite nicely, if I do say so myself.
그 머리에 너무 바른 거 아니야?
This isn't just conditioner. They probably put like mousse or gel in there or something.
안 돼. 홍루가 얼마나 공들여서 손질해줬는데 그렇게 만지면
들고 있던 몽둥이는 어디 갔죠?
몇 년 만에 재회인데 몽둥이를 들고 만날 순 없잖아.
히스클리프 군이 왠지 친절해 보이는 것 같소. 이를테면 아이스크림을 사달라고 하면 바로 사줄 것 같은 느낌이랄까?
Don and ice cream.
그리고 시끄럽게 해도 때리지 않으실 것 같아요.
He's trying, okay?
야, 부탁하건대 캐서린 앞에서 그런 말을 꺼내기라도 하면.
옷이 날개군. 재회의 후기를 기대하고 있겠어.
그래.
So, Heathcliff? I've been meaning to ask this question for a while. I wanted to know the answer, but I couldn't bring myself to ask him. Why did you leave Wuthering Heights? Where the love of your life lives, isn't it? Heathcliff, who'd been busily moving about and preparing to leave the bus, suddenly comes to a halt.
뭐든 괜찮았어. 때리는 것도 굽는 것도 하찮은 취급을 받으며 부려먹어지는 것도 들러리 불순물 취급을 받으면서 사는 것도 참을 수 있었지. 하지만 캐서린 입에서 그 말이 나온 순간 내가 저택에 있어야 할 이유는 그 순간 사라졌어.
Hey, Onion. Welcome. And yeah, Heathcliff is looking fancy. 100%. Oh, and thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Fox Shrine. Hope you enjoy your stay. Heathcliff did not elaborate further. Perhaps it wasn't that he didn't, but that he couldn't bring himself to. 100%. They are going to get married and have a very happy life together. I didn't dare ask him what he was about to say, so I simply nodded in response. Because as everyone knows, Wuthering Heights is a true romance story where nothing bad at all happens. I see. And it is definitely not a story about toxic relationships at all.
카론이 히스 바뀐 모습을 보고 할 말이 있나 본데?
있어. 중대 발표할 거야.
좋아, 좋아. 자, 한마디 소감 부탁드립니다.
카로는 버터 싫어. 느끼하단 말이야.
Oh, Charon. Am I enjoying the Well Purchased Night event? I would be enjoying it more if I got Gregor. I got everyone else. I didn't get Gregor, unfortunately. Poor Heathcliff.
아, 이게 아닌데.
Charon's words must have hit him hard. I've kind of used most of it. I kind of rolled about like 140, 150 times or so. It took quite a bit of convincing for Heathcliff, who was severely discouraged by Charon's remark to exit with us. I've done the story. This is technically a repeat because I've never streamed these chapters. Yeah, as you can see, I've finished it. Anyway, it is midnight my time, so I think that we're going to wrap up here for the night. Unfortunately, still like just stopped in Onion as we're ending. But yeah, that's where we will be stopping. But don't worry, we will be continuing more Limbus Company later in the week. Let me just double check my schedule. I think I've got myself scheduled for Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday we'll be doing some more Limbus Company. Friday I'm actually hoping to do my birthday stream on the Friday. I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet. I'm torn between a few things. I'm thinking of maybe doing Ace Combat 7? I think it's 7. Yeah, Ace Combat 7 or Hades 2 or possibly like since Xenoverse 3 is coming out. Like, I've kind of been wanting to give, like, Xenoverse 2, like, a proper shot. So that's what I'm sort of thinking of, at the very least. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. And on the Sunday, we're, again, going to be doing more Limbus Company, continue with Wuthering Heights. All right? Now, let's go and raid somebody, shall we? Let's see, who's streaming what at the moment? I'll pop in over there and go say hello. Let's see. Okay. Let's go and raid Seraphina Noir. Seraphina is playing some Divinity Original Sin 2. I think they're playing co-op as well. So we'll pop it over there and go say hello. Okay? Thank you very much as always. And I hope to see you all next time. All right? See ya.